Is Tana Clark. I'm an energy therapist and a medical intuitive, and I work a lot with learning disabilities, and I'd like to teach you a little bit about the brain today and what we can do with the brain in order to heal the learning disabilities, in order to change them and help people do better with learning. I've had many experiences with disconnecting in the brain. Many people, especially children, when they have a traumatic event in their life, have a disconnect with people, with places. It could be the death of a loved one. It could be a divorce, a parent leaving. It could be as simple as another sibling coming along and taking them a little more away from their mother. All of these events change the way we think, change our brain. If we have very much trauma, or if we feel like we need to disconnect to protect ourselves. So as we find those incidents and the emotion that goes with it in the brain, we can release the disconnect and reconnect the brain so that it can work well again. The disconnects can be right or left brain. It can be a part of the brain with the rest of the brain. It can be a disconnect from the temporal lobe of the brain, which causes a problem with auditory processing or visual processing with the occipital lobe of the brain. It can be many different disconnects, but we can get those connections remade. I was working with a little girl who had a very, very hard time reading. She was 8 years old and she just had struggled up to that point with reading. And we worked with some disconnects. Her parents had divorced. She wasn't living close to her father. She got to see him every once in a while, but had a huge disconnect with not being able to be with her father. So we worked with those disconnects, and I said to her, I think you're going to be reading better in about 3 weeks. She was very excited about that because it was very difficult. And she went home, and her mother called me in a couple of weeks, and she said, tell Tana she was wrong. I went, oh man, what did I do wrong now? And she said, it wasn't 3 weeks, it was only 2 weeks, and I love reading now. Those are the experiences that make doing energy work worthwhile. When you see that children can read better, they can learn better, it's much easier for them to learn. Our brain is able to change. Our brain can heal. Nerves can heal. Everything in our body can heal. God made our body to be able to heal. It wants to heal. It has a language that tells us it wants to heal. The language is pain, discomfort, not able to learn. Those are the things that our body is trying to tell us that we need to change. And we can do that. We can change it. Our bodies are amazing. God made our bodies wonderful. They can change. We don't need techniques. We don't need scripts. We don't need tapping. We don't need any of that. We just ask the body to change, and it does. Thank you for listening.